Hi, Jakey Stief here, the long-haired freaky dude. Today I'm reviewing Philoctetes by Sophocles, translated into English prose by Richard C. Jebb. Like Ajax, this play takes place during the Trojan War, after the events of the Iliad and before the events of the Odyssey, both of which you can see reviews for right here. The war is starting to near its end, but according to prophecy, the master archer Philoctetes must be there to help the Acheans in order for them to win the war. There he will kill many Trojans, including Paris himself, with his masterful bow. Paris, he was the Trojans' masterful archer who shot Achilles in the heel and ultimately killed him. Back in the day, if you were a master archer, that was like being a top-notch sniper in today's world. Just as lethal, just as feared, and apparently just as concealed. So think of Philoctetes as a more ancient Chris Kyle. These men wanted Philoctetes. These men needed Philoctetes. The only problem, well, You see, about 10 years ago, Philoctetes was bitten on the foot by a snake. The wound became so infected and just stunk so bad that Odysseus sailed Philoctetes out to a small desolate island in the middle of the ocean with no one around, and left him there for 10 years in isolation, alone, in his stench, because solely of his stench. So this poor guy, this greatest archer of all of the Acheans, was left abandoned on an island because the odor of his wound offended people. Just stunk so bad. Woo! You must really reek if someone abandons you on an island, I'm just saying. Gosh, Ajax made me like Odysseus. Now I resent him. Really, Odysseus? Really? It looks like those 7 years with Calypso was actually karma, eh? Trying to make us feel bad for you. Pfft, yeah, he's still awesome. So essentially, since they know that Philoctetes won't willfully come back and fight the war beside his foes, they try to use deception and guile, sending a man in there, the son of Achilles, Neoptolemus, to convince Philoctetes that he is also a castaway of Odysseus, and that he has also been wronged. He promises that he'll take Philoctetes home off of the island, though so deceiving him and taking him to Troy. Neoptolemus is just such a moral man that he caves in. His qualms get the better of him, and he reveals this deceptive, immoral plan to Philoctetes. So now that he knows what's going on, Odysseus himself comes in to try to convince Philoctetes. And here we see another argument about Achilles' armor, as if Ajax wasn't enough. But even so, Odysseus just isn't enough to convince Philoctetes to come with them. But one thing one must keep in mind is that Philoctetes' bow was given to him by Heracles. Thus it was a divine bow with incredible power, and he was willing to use it in accordance to Heracles' wishes. So, in a rather trippy scene, I mean really, I want to know what drugs Sophocles was on when he wrote this. But Heracles magically descends from the heavens, tells Philoctetes that he should join Odysseus, and reascends. It's very bizarre. This scene, however, I think is a very significant point in the evolution of thought during the time. Philoctetes is convinced by a man, not a god, to fulfill his will. But also, this man descends from the heavens to convince Philoctetes. Not a god. A man comes from the heavens. This man is given godlike qualities and powers, sure. Granted, Heracles is the son of Zeus, but he's also the son of a man. And to have a human do this rather than a god was perhaps a pivotal demonstration of ideals which led to great minds and thinkers such as Plato, who strongly supported the capacity of the human mind and the human reason and really didn't put their faith in gods. So Philoctetes, a great play by Sophocles. I definitely love to see this one performed. Definitely encourage you to read it as it demonstrates the shift in thought towards the powers of man. So my questions to you are, how do you think this play demonstrates a shift in Grecian thought? Would you have fought for a man who isolated you on an island for 10 years because your wounds stank? Even if a man descended from heaven to convince you otherwise? And describe your opinions of Odysseus. Great leader or downright horrible human being? Base your opinion off of anywhere that he appears in Grecian literature. I wouldn't say Roman literature because that's naturally going to be biased against him. Anyways, I'm Jakey Stief, the long-haired freaky dude. Thank you for watching this video. If you like reading literature like this or other things such as scientific treatises, mathematical propositions, or philosophical works, then might I suggest checking out the Great Books Challenge. I'm sure it's something that you would love to do. If you want to see more great book reviews of ancient Greek tragedies or other books in general, or cooking tutorials, then might I suggest checking out my channel and hitting the subscribe button. I'm Stief, the long-haired freaky dude. Thank you all for watching. See you all in the next video.